Hello and welcome to the second episode of my Betty Boop Collectibles unboxing audio series. Now, astute listeners will notice that I have removed the ASMR from the title of the series. The reason for this is quite simple, that being that, I do not believe my video series is, in truth, suitable for the purposes of ASMR. Instead, I aim only to serve the community of Betty Boop merchandise collectors with this Betty Boop Collectibles unboxing audio series. With that, out of the way, let us continue to the star of the show, the collectibles. Today's episode will feature this lovely, curtain set. Once again, I will not actually be providing to you the sound of the unboxing of the curtain set that I am reviewing currently. Again, for the simple reason that I have of course already unboxed it. I find that pre-unboxing the merchandise collectibles is the best procedure for these videos so far as it allows me to more clearly observe the merchandise and really firmly get it in my mind so as to increase the effectiveness of my observations and, in turn, the review itself. These curtains, I will not lie, are a complete and utter stunner of a curtain. They are a wonderful shade of classic Betty Boop red, with the same black trim that you will have come to expect, no doubt, as a fervent collector of Betty merchandise and collectibles yourself. Also, Betty Boop is present on the curtains once again. I find, the more that I become acquainted with the series, collectibles, etc., that Betty Boop begins to take on a rustic, Grecian quality, almost incrementalist, of perhaps a Greek deity such as Argos or perhaps Spoopos in our case and purposes. That's just a little aside. I don't of course mean to take away in any way from the quality of the review, but only to sort of personalize here my own brand as I set out to further establish the content and purpose of these Betty Boop collectible unboxing audio series episodes. Now, back to the curtains. The most important concern with those, of course, is their ability to block light. And I don't mind telling you, these curtains excel at this particular thing. They do it very well, and when I use these curtains I feel almost as if I've been plunged into the primordial darkness of Hades. To return to my previous Greek metaphor again, not to detract from the overall quality of the review, but, in this particular case, even to begin to add a little extra, I really want you to appreciate the abilities of these curtains, and I feel that the appeal to the mythological things is really the best way to go about that here. Just really, the scale of darkness that is created by these curtains is off the charts. Simply superb. I would never trust, in fact, after purchasing these curtains, any other curtain to provide the same amount of darkness and shade that Betty Boop has introduced into my life in a strictly positive context, that being a curtain. It's just very lovely. Now, in my previous review of the shot glasses, I didn't actually say too much about the product. Again, I wish to establish this series as far as how to go about it, as I go. So I would like to rectify that by adding some more details about the curtains. Of course, I have already established that the primary purpose of curtains is the production of darkness, but these curtains also have a certain aesthetic quality that I think you will find pleasing should you introduce it into your home. Again, they are a lovely shade of red with black trimmings and the presence of Miss Boop herself. And I believe these curtains therefore would go with a very tasteful kitchen arrangement. Perhaps, based on chocolates or apples. I know that apples are popular in my area, as a decoration of kitchen areas. If you wish to put these perhaps in a bathroom, you could match them very well with, here's a sneak peek of a future episode of my Betty Boop Collectibles unboxing audio series, a Betty Boop shower curtain. A curtain of a different variety without the purpose of providing darkness, but nonetheless themed in such a way that it would be aesthetically pleasing. Perhaps you could put these curtains to an alternative purpose. In an emergency, they would perhaps serve as a viable tourniquet, to be wrapped around a wound. or you could fashion them into a kind of dress, should perhaps your aunt forbid you from going to a southern ball, and you found yourself in the antebellum South also with access to Betty Boop curtains and knowledge of the franchise well before the advent of animation would even provide for. I'm getting off track here actually. Perhaps it was a mistake to introduce these tangents into the series. Nonetheless, these curtains I would definitely give them 5 boops out of 10. I actually work primarily on a 5 scale, 5-star scale, so 5 boops out of 10 on a 5-star scale would be 5 stars. I'm not, sure what to do yet with the extra boops, 6 through 10, on the 10 boop scale. Well, I'll come to that in the future. Again, working things out. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you'd like to see more of the Betty Boop Collectibles unboxing audio series, sans ASMR elements, just let me know in the comments, in the likes, or perhaps by leaving some creative as key art of Betty Boop, which is always a treat for a collector of Betty Boop merchandise. Thank you and have a wonderful day.